Hey everybody, it's Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Wednesday, June 2nd, 2021. We're in the final hour of the trading day. The final hour of the trading day is my favorite time to make my buying and selling decisions for the majority of my swing trades. During the day, you have the algorithms, you have the day traders. They are the ones that are in control of the price during that part of the day. At the end of the day, the large financial institutions come in. They're dealing with the most money, best information, best technology, very smart people, and they take control of the price away from the day traders and the algorithms. I consider them to be the smartest money on the street, and therefore I make my buying and selling decisions at the end of the day, right before the close, based upon the large financial institutions moving the price to a particular price. And depending what it is, I'm in or I'm out. So I think it's a really good way to trade. I think it's a holistic way to trade. You don't have to sit in front of the computer all day unless you're day trading like me. But nonetheless, it's my preferred way to trade for my swing trades. So thank you all for coming today. It's nice to see everyone. I hope you are all having a good day. Interesting day here in the market. Some stocks are doing really well. Some stocks are doing very poorly. And I've got a few of each, but we'll go through those in a minute. But appreciate you coming here, appreciate you spending your time, hope that you're learning something useful by investing your time here. Currently, the Dow Jones is up 20 points. The NASDAQ is up down 15 points, and the S&P is up 1.4. So pretty close to unchanged. So here is the plan for today. As usual, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back. We're going to take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them going forward. Did not have any day trades today to show you, but I have a really great example of a great day trade that I missed. I didn't see it, but I will show you that just as a teaching example. After that, we are going to go over to the watch list, take a look at my students' current positions. We'll go through each one. We'll see how those are doing. After that, we will switch gears. We'll talk a little bit about trader psychology. Most important skill that you can develop in trading is being able to manage your emotion. And there's lots of ways to do that. I'll go over a few when we get there. After that, I have gone down through my watch list. I have gone down through the results of Kamal's scanner. I have 3 requirements when I'm looking to enter a trade. First, confluence, combination of indicators lining up on multiple time frames. 2, I need a good risk to reward ratio, at least 2 to 1. And number 3, I need to have a complete trading plan. What is the volatility of the current market? I have to adjust my position size based upon that volatility, so I know how many shares to buy. I need to know what my maximum allowed loss is. I need to know where my end of day stop is. I need to know where my intraday profit targets are. I need to know where key resistance levels are above me, and I need to have a good and valid trading stop plan or protocol in place so that if I have a good profitable trade, I know how to trail it, and so I don't want it, because I don't want to give all those profits back. So I have to have some mechanisms in place and rules in place to tell me when to get out to be able to lock in some profits. All right, so those are the requirements. I have quite a few end of day potential candidates today. As we get closer to the end of the day, I will go through each one. We'll go through each one with a fine-tooth comb. We'll look at multiple time frames. We'll look at combinations, confluence of indicators. We'll look at risk to reward, and I'll try to narrow it down to the best potential trade. And if I find something, I'll take it right before the market closes. After the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me, please go ahead. Just let me know. If you need clarification on anything, please let me know. And if there are any stock symbols that you'd like me to look at before the close of the market, feel free to put them in the chat and put an emoji by it so I know it's time sensitive. And then lastly, if any of my students have any new entries or exits for me, if you could please wait till after the market's closed before you tell me about them, so that the pressure's off, market's closed, I'm done teaching, I'm done trading, and then we'll spend as much time as we need to get those all updated correctly. Okay, so I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, and I'll be back in 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, are we going? Are we live? We are. Let's see who's here today. Dan is here. Nice to see you, Dan. Appreciate you being here. Hey, Kamal, good chatting with you last night. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you for everything that you do for this podcast. I appreciate it, and I know everyone else does. Hello, Lova. Good to see you. It's going to be kind of a hard time to get me to switch from Michael over to Lova, but good to see you, Michael. David is here. Nice to see you, David. Hope you're doing well. Johan, nice to see you, Johan. Steve Burns is here. Nice to see you, Steve. Appreciate you being here. Always an honor and a privilege, and thank you for everything that you contribute to this channel. Gary is here. Good chatting with you earlier, Gary. Johnson, nice to see you as well. Jonathan from Ireland is here. Good evening to you. Frank is here. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you for all your contributions to this channel every day, Frank, with your great poems. Really appreciate that. All right, let's get going. Here we go. APPN. Like I said, today I've had some really great ones and some really poor ones. So that's just, I guess, how it goes today. APPN. Lilia, Jonathan, and I did buy APPN with an under 30, over 30 at 83.84. Moved sideways for a few days, then moved up nicely. Moved up here. I didn't like this bar. I took half off here. Then we had a close below the previous day's low. I took another half of a half. Is up 5.17% today. Did hit one profit target at 90.80. And currently, from entry to current price, this trade is up 9.11%. So nice little trade there. ARCB, I really liked this trade yesterday. It did not turn out the way I thought, but I did like it. It was a 520 crossover. Tracy, Paxton, and I did take it at 81.25 at 78.19. It is down 3.77% on the day and just about on the trade as well. This is a loser. I get rid of losers quickly. I will be locking in a loss today of about 3.77% on that trade. IRSG, Lily and I did take IRSG with the 520 crossover, bought it here at 843.75. Went up, down, up. At least I took a few little profit targets off. I think I hit one profit target yesterday. Looks like I'll be locking in a loss. This is down 1.85%. And on the trade, down about 2.73%. So again, this is a loser. It's not acting correctly. And so I'm just going to get that weed out of my garden. MSTR doing well today. Gary, Tracy, Gary and Tracy and I are in this trade. Confluence of indicators, under 30, over 30, under 200, over 200. Bought it at 454.92. As it moved up, I took profits. Did sell half with a close below the previous day's low. It's up 3.34% today, which is a nice little move. Did hit one profit target today at 495.15. And currently this trade is up 7.80%. Roku. Paxton and I bought Roku with the 520 crossover at 347.48. It just kind of moved sideways. Today's the first day it moved down. It is down 2.68% today, and it is down on the trade. My end of day stop on this, my rules would be to take half if we close below both the 5 and the 20, because that's the crossover that I use. It is below the 5, but it's holding above the 20. So as long as it holds above the 20, I will continue to hold. SPY had some really nice gap ups lately. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days in a row. The overnight SPY trade has been profitable. This one not so big, but I did buy at 419.67, sold at 420.35. It is off of its highs. Nine in a row. That's unreal. I don't think we've ever had 9 in a row. But again, I will buy this again at the close with the market on close order. I'll hold it overnight. I'll sell it first thing tomorrow morning. TER. Jonathan, Gary, David, Paxton, and I did buy TER at 127.70 with the 520 crossover. Moved up nicely, held. It is more than 1.5 ATRs from entry. Did hold the previous day's low. That's why I kept it. It is up 0.16% today, but it is up currently 2.71% on the trade. My short on Walgreens started out nice. I shorted it here with this big down bar. Bounce, rejection of the 50, rejection of the 50 RSI. I shorted it at 52.94. It's currently 53.64. Looks like it's going to close above the 50 RSI and the 50 SMA. So I will have to go ahead and take a loss on this if it closes above both. Down 1.34% on the trade. And then Twitter been in this quite a long time. It's been a good trade with Miko, Gary, Tracy, Paxton, and I. We did buy Twitter with this deep dip buy of under 200, over 200. Bought it at 52.58. Went up, took some profits, came down intraday, lost to 200, kept it, moved up, 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 up. Yesterday I sold half with a close below the previous day's low because it moved 1.5 ATR from entry. So I have half that position left. Less any scaling out that I did. And so far this trade is up 7.44% from entry to exit. I do have some weekly trades. I do have some monthly trades that are doing well. But as I mentioned yesterday, I'm only going to be covering the weekly trades on Friday, and I'm only going to be covering the monthly trades at the end of the month because that is when the bar finishes. It's going to show you this trade on Apple that I did not take, but I wish I had. This is a great example, everybody, of a double bottom with a bullish divergence. Here we have a low with deep red MACD bars. We rally into some green. We come back, test the low, hardly any red at all. Then you need a trigger. The trigger would have been this V2. I didn't take it, but that would have been an excellent trade. Had I taken it, I would have probably taken half here, maybe another half of a half here, definitely some here. Probably have gotten out of the trade right there. But just a really good example of a double bottom with a bullish divergence and a nice trigger with the V1. But again, I did not take this trade. All right, let's head over and take a look at your trades, everyone. We have ASML with Lilia, 520 crossover, bought at 648.80. It's currently 672.88, up 0.16% today and up 3.51%. Very nice. Boeing. Another great trade on Boeing. Nice trade for Kamal. Anyone else in this? No. All right. Kamal bought this almost at the bottom at 221.10. Look at this move, everybody. Up 0.63% today. And Kamal is up on this trade 13.81%. Way to go, Kamal. Fastly is another trade from Lilia. Under 30, over 30, bought it at 43.70. It's 48.73, up 3.05% just today. And this trade for Lilia is up 10.46. Holy hamburgers. Frank and Gary bought DraftKings yesterday, DKNG. Gary bought a half a position, bought it at 49.60. It's 50.98. It's up 2.84% today and just about the same on the trade. Very nice trade, gentlemen. USFD, Lilia bought USFD, which is US Holdings, at 38.82. Great day yesterday, down a little bit today. So it's down on the day, but up on the trade. Fiverr. Nice trade. I believe this is Steve. Steve bought Fiverr with the 520 crossover at 195. It is currently 207.70, up 0.79% today and up 5.95% on the trade. Very nice. Netflix. Johan bought Netflix with the 520 crossover, I think at 504.13. Today it is down 1.14%, down 0.25%. So this one is down on the day and down on the trade, and it looks like the 520 is crossing under. Steve Burns bought the Qs with the 520 crossover at 332.78. It's currently 332.61, down today and just a little down on the trade. Levi, Kamal bought Levi at 26.81 with this false breakout to the downside. Moved up nicely yesterday, but looks like it gave it back. So right about break even on that trade. ELY keeps going up for Frank. Frank's had a beautiful trade on this. He bought this all the way back here at about 27.75. It's 37.35. Up on the day and up 25.86%. So that's about the biggest trade I've seen in a while. BIDU. Steve bought BIDU yesterday with a 520 crossover. Bought it here at 201.41. It's currently 197.31. It's down 2.23% today and down on the trade. CPRI, Frank bought CPRI back here at $52. It's 54.39, is down 3.34% today, but Frank is still nicely up on the trade. IWM, Steve bought IWM with the 1050 SMA crossover at 228.19. It's currently 227.98, is down 0.06% on the day and just slightly down on the trade. Angie's List, Steve bought this with a 520 crossover at 14.26. It's 14.21, so slightly down on the day, slightly down on the trade. Airbnb, Kamal, Jonathan, Johan, Gary, beautiful trade here on Airbnb. Kamal bought it all the way down here at 134.90, and Jonathan, Johan, and Gary bought at 143.20. It's up 5.71%. Excellent trade. Kamal is up on this 11.86%, and everyone else is up about 6.12%, which is still pretty great. Congratulations there, everyone. Uber, Gary bought Uber at 48.20. It's 50.69. It is down a little on the day, 0.57%, but it is up on the trade, which is the most important. Tesla, David bought Tesla at 6.06. It's currently 605.40, kind of a big down day today. Did reject the 200-day moving average, which could set this up for a potential entry for tomorrow. We'll look at that later. So this one was up nicely. I don't know if David took any profits along the way, but right back to about break even, but holding the 200-day moving average. Bill Paxton and Tracy took Bill at 149.50. It's 155.72. It's up 2.72%, and it is up 4.13% on the trade. Congratulations. IWB, Steve Burns took IWB with the 530 EMA crossover. He bought it at 236.40. It's currently 237.17, so it's up a little on the day, but it's up on the trade. Whew, there we go. So again, ARCB, I will be getting out of ARCB with the 520 cross under. ISRG, also going to be getting out of the trade on IRSG. Monster, I'm holding. Roku, I'll have to watch and see if we close below both the 5 and the 20. Right now, I did bounce at the 20. TER's doing fine. I'm keeping. WBA, not doing great. If this closes above both the 50 RSI and the 50 SMA, I'll have to go ahead and just take this loss. And then Twitter, I'm fine on Twitter all the way back down to the 200. All right. Lilia says, hi, everyone. Good to see you, Lilia. Steve says AMD has a 1030 crossover. Let's take a look. Oh, I don't have my, oh, I can go here. Yes, it certainly does. For me, it's a little high. It's past that second ATR channel, so that kind of takes it off the table for me. I don't buy crossovers if they reject it or if they're above the 200 the second ATR channel, and we've got that 200 there. But who knows? That could just keep revving on up. That's just a filter that I use for myself. Ava, good to see you, Ava. Got your email. I will definitely reply. Appreciate that. I'll tell you what. Let's head over, and we've got a lot to look at today. Let me see. Did I miss? I didn't see Frank's poem yet. Let's take a look. Hey, there it is. TR says Apple and Amazon with 200-day intraday rejections. Yes, for deep dip buying. Good to see you, TR. I did get a couple of your questions. I'm still not quite clear on your question about the market on open order. You know, I do all of my buying and selling at the end of the day. Now, I'm not sure where you're located. Maybe there's some time zone issues, but just to be clear, I do all my buying and selling at the close. So maybe where you are at in the world, maybe that's the middle of the night kind of situation. I don't know. We'll have to talk about that. But just to be clear, I have to make my decisions at the end of the day. It has nothing to do whatsoever with the open. So yes, Amazon does have a rejection of the 200-day moving average. It's tested the 200-day twice holding above. This would be. I am interested in Amazon, but only if Amazon can close over 2 days ago's close, making it a V2. 3223.07. I mean, it's up 0.18% today, but I think there's better. But yes, you are correct. It is rejecting the 200-day moving average, so intraday rejection. So it technically is a valid signal. Apple did not test the 200-day moving average. I'm interested in buying Apple, but only if it can test the 200-day moving average. We do have a V2, which is helpful. They 1, 2, 3, 2 washes out 1, 3 is above 1. So there is a high, this could be considered a higher low or a lower low, because we kind of have a low here, which is lower, but this high is higher over here. But it's not clearly enough defined for me to actually go ahead and buy Apple. I want to see a test and rejection of that 200. Frank has a poem for us. Let's give it a read. Trading is about the choices you make and accepting the fact that there's give and take. It's protecting a position for your own sake while measuring risk before you partake. Boy, that's good stuff, Frank. Unbelievable. I mean, what a talent you have. I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, one, to make everything rhyme, but two, to just have everything so pertinent. Trading is about the choices you make and accepting the fact that there's give and take. There is give and take, everyone, right? We've had pretty good run lately, not a lot of down days, but those are coming. Just be aware of it. It's part of trading. It's protecting a position for your own sake while measuring risk before you partake. And yes, of course, you always have to measure risk. I always talk about risk to reward about 8,300 times a day because it is so important. Thank you, Frank. Just beautiful poem. TR says, no worries. I understand now. You don't wait. Okay. Dan says, nice one, Frank. Morgs, good to see you, Morgs. Hope you're doing well in South Africa. Hope everything is good. Frank says, thank you, Dan. Kamal says, Greg, you do a moo spy trade? You do a moo spy trade. What's that? I'm not sure what a moo market. Oh, market on open? No. I do a market on close. I buy it at the close. If we're talking about the same thing there. Boy, APPN's doing great. Up 6.13%. Way to go, APPN. Market on open, yeah. Yeah, basically, I just put it in as a market order. I just basically put it in as a market order the night before. Kamal. You sell your SPY at the open. Yes, I do. I do. But just a market order, not a market on open order, but essentially a market order is the same. I think, right? Okay. Also, wanted to show you, I am trading Bitcoin. This has been a really nice trade on Bitcoin. I bought Bitcoin deep dip buy with a close under the 250, over the 250 with a good risk to reward ratio. And it has moved up. I don't know what it is, 3.26% today, but it's up about 6-7% on this trade. I also bought this one back here with an intraday rejection of the 200-day moving average at about 34.7. I sold it when it rejected the 200-day at 37.82. So I've had some great moves from here to here on Bitcoin. Here to here, I had a little losing one. And then again, here to here, nice big gain. But we've been kind of stuck between the 250 and the 200. We're kind of in purgatory in this realm right here. So my end of day stop on this particular one, and I have been taking profits, is if we get a close below the 250, I'll get out. If we reject the 200, I'll also get out. If we close above the 200, I'll hold it and then wait for a close below the 200. If it doesn't close back below the 200 and rejects the 50, goes all the way up there, then I would get out there. If it closes above the 50, I'd hold it until it loses the 50. Hope that makes sense. All right, let's head over to Trader Psychology World. This is from Thomas Paine. Thomas is a friend of mine, professional trader, used to be a scientist, got out of the science field, came into trading, brought the scientific method with him, which I think is great. And Thomas just has such great posts. If you haven't subscribed to him, please do. It's Thomas Paine, or he's at Trader T Paine over on Twitter. Do yourself a favor, subscribe. Great information. I always look forward to seeing Thomas's post. Let's see what Thomas has to say today. Trading will beat you to the ground. When I start, I feel like I'm reading a poem. Trading will beat you to the ground and make you feel like quitting. Instead of using the beatings as an excuse to quit, look in the mirror and study why you lost. The best traders have suffered heartbreaking losses, but they use it as fuel to transform themselves, not quit. And when I read this, this hits very close to home. I've told you the story before. When I was in my early 20s, I was in the chewing gum business. I was fortunate enough to take my company public, sold out. I was young, inexperienced, a lot of money, decided to get into trading. At first, did pretty well, gotta admit, but I had no freaking clue what I was doing, right? I can't remember exactly, I kind of blank it out, but somewhere between a month and a half, I had a horrible run, lost over $1 million, and I was just defeated, as you can imagine. And I decided to go and take a walk. I walked the coast of Oregon with my dog, Bobby, and my girlfriend. Watched all my other German Shepherds, always thankful to her for that. But I took off for 3 months and I really decided, am I going to keep trading? I seem to like this, but I realized I didn't know what I was doing. So I went out, hired coaches, read books, went to seminars, studied. And like Thomas says here, I used that fuel. I used the loss and anger of that fuel and sadness of that fuel. It's like, I am really going to learn how to do this. And that's what drove me. So trading will beat you to the ground and make you feel like quitting. That is totally true. When things are going great, you feel like you're never going to lose another penny in your life. When things are going poorly, you never feel like you're going to make another penny in your life. I'm sure you've all been there. Instead of using the beatings as an excuse to quit, look in the mirror and study why you lost. I can tell you why you lost. You didn't respect your stop losses. You did not stay on the right side of the moving averages, and you position size too large, didn't you? I know you did. I don't know your trades, but that's always what happens. So get that all taken care of. The best traders have suffered heartbreaking losses. I sure have. I know Steve has, but they use it as fuel to transform themselves, not quit. So, if you're in the middle of this, or you're dealing with this, or you've dealt with this, use those emotions as a reason to get better at what you do, because you're either going to get better at trading or you're going to have to quit. And I would suggest using the former, which is getting better at trading. So, Thomas Payne, thank you, sir. Excellent post, very helpful to me, and I hope it's helpful to everyone else as well. All right, what's happening here? Dow Jones up a point, essentially about even. NASDAQ down. S&P up a point. Boy, I don't think I've ever seen the indexes be as close to being flat as right this second. And again, before we start looking at new trades, I have to take care of my current trades. More important, APPN's doing great, going to be holding that. ARCB not doing great, cross under, exiting ARCB. I'm just going to put it over here so I know where my exits are. ISRG, going to be exiting that for a loss, keeping my winners. Roku seems to be holding. TER holding. WBA looks like it's closing above the 50. Looks like it's closing the 50 SMA. Looks like it's closing above the 50 RSI. That is a bad sign for my short. I will be weeding those out. So this is just a good example of everybody of keeping the ones that are doing well, getting rid of the ones that are doing poorly. Make sense? Okay, hope so. TR says AT&T looks like a deep dip buy on both the 200 and maybe 250. Does it matter that the 250 is above the 200? Any reason to avoid that? Not really, but let's take a look at the chart. I do not see the 250 TR when I look at T. I mean, here's the 200. But where is the elusive 250? Do we have a 250 on here? Oh, yeah. $250, 28.57. Is it hidden? I think it's hidden inside the 200. I really don't see it. It must be hidden inside the 200 because it says 28.57. 28. Yeah, it's hidden in this 200. But on my charts, our charts might be a little different. Your charts are probably not adjusting for dividends. It's fine. Did we back test the 200? Let me see what AT&T does on the 200 with the back test. That one back tests negatively. It still gives you a good risk to reward ratio. I'm not going to be buying AT&T here, but I did check this. It does back test slightly negative, and I don't see anything I really love about this chart. So just my opinion, I could be totally wrong. But no, the 200 being above the 250 really doesn't matter to me anyway. It's just the risk to reward that matters. All right. If we look over on Bitcoin, do kind of like this. Everyone asks me what this green arrow means. Green arrow or green marker means that we had a V1 to the downside, which is bearish. They got immediately reversed to the upside. That is bullish. I kind of like Bitcoin here. I mean, I already own it. I'm not trading the CME Bitcoin. I'm trading the perpetual contract, the one that I just showed you over here. But my end of day stop here is the 250, or if we reject the 200 above us. All right, Amazon. As mentioned earlier, there is 2 days of support at the 200-day moving average. I just made a decision earlier that I wasn't going to buy it unless it was above 32.2307. It is a good risk to reward ratio. There's no doubt about that. It's up $1.25 now, but I think I'm going to pass on Amazon. Etsy, big day up, is up 7.17%. Only, we triggered a fractal. Here's a high with 2 lower highs to the left, 2 lower highs to the right, which is good. Is it a good risk to reward ratio? It's decent. It's a little chasey. It's up 7.15%, but it doesn't mean your stop's going to be 7.15% below it. That would just be a close below the 200-day moving average. Let's look over on the weekly. I don't like this big down bar. And if we get to halfway of that big down bar, very likely we'll find some resistance. So that is, $4 above. Those are just the small nuances that I look at, everybody. We have a big down bar. We're going to get to 50% there. This does back test well off the 200. Wait, before I say that, let me check, make sure. Pretty sure it does. ETSY. Yeah, it does. It backtests nicely. But, I'm just looking at the nuances of it. If I look at the weekly with a big down bar, we're getting close to that. So I am also going to pass on Etsy. TDOC was looking for a 520 crossover. That has untriggered. So I will not be taking TDOC. Tesla is a possibility because of the rejection of the upward sloping 200-day moving average, which is pretty good. It is down 3.9% today. So, it's the relative weakness is pretty strong. It did respect the 200 here last time before the move up like David. So, imagine if David's in this trade. I don't know exactly what he's doing here, if he will keep it or not, but it is an upward sloping 200-day moving average. MACD is positive. It's a really good risk to reward ratio. So that one is definitely on my list of possibilities. DKNG has a nice bullish engulfing bar. V1 in addition, the 520 crossover is happening. It's up nicely, 2.86% today for Frank and Gary. 200-day moving average here concerns me a little bit. If we look over at the weekly, it's holding the 50-week nicely. I think I'm going to respect that 200-day moving average and just let that one go. NVAX, I know this stock very well because Frank had a beautiful trade in it. This is a huge monster day, up almost 20%. But is it chasey? Yeah, it's chasey. We're getting up to the 50-day moving average. This is very strong volume. But so the setup's good. This is very bullish, probably long term. But for me right now to buy this, it's just too chasey. NTGR, really nice false breakouts to the downside, rejection of the 200-day moving average. Is down 2.89% today, but this I would consider this too chasey as well. The risk all the way back down to the 200 is a little bit too far for me. This bar here, close under 200, over 200, this is what I would be looking for because it gives me a better risk to reward ratio, and that little risk really paid off. You certainly could have made some money on that move, but not here at this point for me. LMT, I kind of like LMT. I like the sideways motion in the value zone. I like the 520 crossover. It does back test well. Bullish engulfing bar and a V1. Let's head over to the weekly and see it's holding the 5. I kind of like LMT. It's kind of stealthy. I'm sure it's not sticking out on a lot of people's scanners, but I do like it because of the 520 crossover and the V1 and its location in the value zone. Ping. Ping has a nice false breakout to the downside and looks like a V2, 484,000 shares traded. This big bar here concerns me a little bit because we got right to about halfway, and that's where we failed. So just given that alone, I'm probably going to just pass on the trade. But it is a decent little setup. I mean, it definitely could go higher. It's a good risk to reward. Cyber was looking like a false breakout to the downside in a V1. The close is 126.54. Now it's 126.38. So the V2 has failed, or it's untriggered. Plus we have the 200-day moving average there. So I'm going to let that one slide as well. WSM. This is a higher low V1 MACD crossed over. Do we have a 520 crossover? We do. That's on the daily. On the weekly, we're holding support at the -1 ATR channel. That also looks pretty good. On the downside, we have the 50-day moving average right above us, which has acted as resistance here, 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 and close to there. My stop, if I took this trade, would be about 170. So it does offer a good risk to reward ratio. It does have the 520 crossover, does have the higher low V1. So that one is also a possibility for me. AMD, Steve mentioned that the 530 EMA crossover is happening. Just for the way I trade, it's just a little extended for me to take that trade. KLAC, don't really see anything there. Costco, V2, maybe a V1 yesterday, but look, we got stopped right at halfway of that washout bar. SWKS, don't see anything there. AT&T we talked about. I mean, it's a bullish engulfing bar. On my charts, it's above the 100-day moving average, but I don't think I would be interested in that trade. MSCI looks like a 520 crossover, but it has 87,000 shares traded. CERN, earlier in the day, it was a V2, it untriggered, and that is it. So my favorites today are going to be possibility of Tesla, LMT, and WSM. So I'm going to put these up here. TSLA, LMT, and WSM. Okay, so those are my three potentials. What do we have? We have about 15 minutes. And I still have to get rid of ARCB, ISRG, and I have to cover my WBA short, which certainly looks like I'm going to have to cover that. David says, staying in Tesla if it holds at 200. Yep, that makes sense. David says, Greg, for ARBC, the 5 is below the 20, but the V2 that formed yesterday is still holding. Yeah, it is. I just don't like how weak this is, and the 520 cross under. I understand what you're saying. I mean, you know, if you took the 520 crossover as the signal, then you'd want to get out today because the 520 cross under. If you took just the V2 as the signal, then you still could hold it because it's holding half and it is holding the -1 ATR channel. Did lose the 50 RSI as well. The cross under, losing the 50 RSI, that's the reason I'm going to sell ARCB, David. just try to get something else. Steve is long AMD at 81.95 on the 1030 EMA crossover signal. All right, good. I will update that at the end. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my stinkers. Okay, those are gone there. Haven't had too many stinkers for a while. Frowny face. First loss is the easiest, everybody. It stings a little, but first loss is definitely the easiest. Look at MSTR making a high on the day, up for 4.44%. Okay, so I did get rid of ARCB, locked in a loss, did get rid of ISRG, locked in that loss, did get rid of my short on Walgreens, which is strong today. And so I'm just going to have to take my lumps on that and get on out. So that's all done. Keeping the ones that are doing well. That's the important part. Let's see. What do we have? Bitcoin up 3.43%. Okay. So let's dig into this a little bit closer. Do I want to buy Tesla? It's a good risk to reward ratio. MACD is positive. Upward sloping 200-day moving average. Good. It's down on an up day. Bad. Weekly. Lost the -1 ATR channel, but positively holding halfway of the up bar that happened last week. Let's look at the monthly and see if we can divine anything from the monthly. Lost the second ATR channel, lost the 70 RSI. If it just closed under, I would not have to make this decision. This is a tough decision. So I still have 12 minutes. I'm not going to make it yet. LMT. I did like, look, you know, I talked about this before, but I love to buy in the value zone. I love to buy after sideways motion. It does have a 520 cross over, under 50, over 50, holding support. Let's look over on the weekly, holding the 5 EMA, up on a down day when the Dow is down. So me personally, I kind of like LMT here, and then WSM. 520 crossover, is it still holding? It is barely. With that big down bar though. We have that big down bar. Halfway of that would be 179. So maybe there's 7 points to the upside there. Pretty good volume. 520 crossover MACD. So right now, it's either LMT or WSM for sure. Those are much better. But which one do I like better? Well, 520 crossover in the value zone I like. Weekly, no big down bars to really necessarily to be concerned about. WSM has the 50. So I am probably going to go with LMT. Holy smokes. Let's see, what's our Apple doing? Holding out at the 5-day. Glad I got out of WBA when I did. Yeah, LMT makes the most sense for me right now. Steve says, Apple and Amazon both hanging out around the 200-day moving average support. That could be good or bad. We'll see. That's true. Like when they come down their bounce and go right back out. If they hang out there too long, sometimes, like Steve says, that is a bad sign. Tesla also at the 200-day moving average support as well. Yep. Frank says, I know Larry Williams liked Tesla as a Memorial Day to mid-June trade based on back testing from Memorial Day till mid-June. Well, if that's true, that would be the time to, that's a great entry point. If you think that is true, there's just a lot of, on the weekly, we've rejected the -1 ATR channel, but again, we're holding the halfway of the previous week up bar. We also had a big down bar here that we've rejected halfway of. It's a tough one. That's a tough one. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with LMT. I think that's going to be my choice today. All right, well, I'll take a little breather here, get a little drink. Glad to see Roku coming back up a little bit. Whew, I'm glad I got a WB when I did. AAPN might hit a second profit target. Come on, baby. Come on, buddy. 94.02. Get on up there. You can do it. So I better figure out how many shares of LMT that I am buying. Let's see what that looks like intraday. Not bad. All right. I'll wait the 6 minutes to set a good example. Yeah, Bitcoin doing great. Up 3.24% today. Looks like it might close over the 10-day. But this closes at 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. We are 40 RSI, so we have not yet tested the 50, but it's doing great. As per MSTR, which is a proxy for Bitcoin, APPN up 7.14%. Could get there. Come on now, buddy. Let's do it. Let's do it now. Oh, you're so close. Come on. All right, I'm just going to forget about it and have it do it on its own. Johnson says BA and LMT have some correlation. FYI for people already BA. I do have BA. Yes, military contractors in that respect. You're 100% right, Johnson. But my BA is on the monthly. So few shares because the ATR is the two ATR are so large on BA. But very good point. BA and LMT do have some correlation because they're both military contractors. Because of the different time frames that I'm trading, that doesn't concern me very much. APPN so close. Come on now. 8 cents. Come on, you can do that easy. 17 cents now. Steve says, I exited BIDU for a 1.85% loss based on the loss of the previous day's low, the bearish candle, and the relative weakness. That makes sense. What do we have? 3 minutes to go. All right. All right. I'm going to go ahead by my LMT here. And then over here, okay, 2 minutes. Okay. I'm done. I am done. Oh, I got AAPN. Sweet. I love doing my little profit target changes there. About 30 seconds on my end. All right. That is it, everybody. So let me see where I bought everything here. I bought SPY at 420.33. I bought LMT at 384.99. Okay, so I better leave Tesla there. I can get rid of WSN, I think. Okay. So SPY 420. 9 days in a row on that SPY trade, everybody. Unreal. 420.33 for the overnight Spire, and LMT 384.99. So little in the money on that one. All right, so there we go. So listen, if any of my students have any entries or exits that they would like me to update on the board, this is the time to do it. Go ahead and put it in the live stream. I'll get them all taken care of. Before I get to that, just 3 pieces of business. First, just want to remind everybody that I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach. I believe I'm good at it. I have a great course, which is a total of 15 hours. 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours. That's where you get your 15 hours. I teach you all 5 of the setups that I use. I'll teach you step by step. Doesn't matter if you're just a pure beginner or you've been trading for 20 years. I know this course will be helpful for you. I know you'll be a better trader when you're done. The best way to learn is an intensive one-on-one with your instructor, and that's why I offer this course. So the course does cost $1,750. If you are interested, just send me an email. The email's in the description of this video. It's a good time for us to chat, get to know each other a little bit, help me understand you and your trading and your goals. And it's also a good time for you to ask me questions about the course. When we're done with the Skype call, take as much time as you want. Think about it. If you decide, yeah, I do want to take that course with Greg, just email me back and we'll get it all scheduled. And I know you'll be happy that you did. I put a lot of work and energy into every single student because it's really important to me that they succeed. Number 2, I do have a course on Udemy. It's called the Deep Dip Buy Stock Trading Strategy. It's an excellent course. It's very affordable. It's like $12, $13 on udemy.com. I have a link to it in the description of this video. It's the total course is 9.5 hours of video, 26 videos total, 15 study guides, and I will teach you step by step exactly how to trade the deep dip buy stock trading strategy, which is what we've been using a lot lately because of the sell-off in the market. And then lastly, if you like today's podcast, I really would appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. It does help to build the channel, helps keep the channel around, so YouTube know that there's some valuable content here. Gets the channel out to more people if they know there's valuable content, and you hitting the like button helps out a lot with that. So if you like today's podcast, if there's something helpful here today, all I ask is that you would hit that thumbs up button before you get on with your day. So, all right, let's take a look here. Now, Steve did something up here. Okay, he's long AMD. All right, so Steve's long AMD at 81.95, so it's in the money already. 81.95. Steve with the 1030 EMA cross. Okay, what else did we do? Steve got out of BIDU, so he's just tending to his garden, making sure that he gets out of, weeds that were messing with his garden, and this was messing with his garden, but I'll bet you he's keeping his winning trades. I'll bet you that. Johan is out of Netflix. All right, Johan. Good trade. I know it was a losing trade, but it's a good trade because you followed your rules. And in LMT. Okay, glad to have you as good company there. Frank says stopped out of CPRI and bought half on WSM. Okay, CPRI Where did I know I had it here somewhere. Okay, stopped out, but I'm sure that was a profitable trade regardless. And WSM. Is Frank with a half. Okay, excellent, Frank. I like that. I do like that setup. I like the 520 crossover and all that. So good luck on that. Tracy says out of ARCB. Okay. Yeah, that one was kind of rude, wasn't it? Gary said nothing new today. Okay. Steve is also long IBB with the 520 crossover, 151.15. All right. Got that one for you, Stephen. Jonathan is an LMT, and cheers, guys. Cheers right back. Okay. Kamal is in ping, half position. I kind of thought you were going to do that, Kamal. Makes sense. Does make sense. Nice little V2 there. Or maybe a V1 yesterday. It's hard to tell. I mean, it's not that hard. I could if I wanted to burn some more calories, but it really doesn't matter. Okay. Oh, Kamal took a half. What is happening? I'm not used to Kamal taking half positions. All right, Lilia is out of ISRG. Yep, that one was no bueno. Huh. AAPN, she is out. She said enough. It's a good trade though. That's a good trade. Okay, Lilia, I got you out of there. Half LMT. And half WSM. That makes sense. You're the one that put that on my radar today. I like the half positions, Lilia. Okay, there's that. TR says the deep dip buy course is awesome. I love how you say the DDB course. If you knew me better, you'd understand the DB part of that is kind of an inside joke around here, but I like it because the deep dip buy stock trading strategy is kind of a mouthful, but the DDB course is great little shortener. But I'm glad you like it. I'm really, really glad you like it. Frank says, I also have a stop on DKNG at cost just to hitch a ride. Okay, wait, I also have a stop on, okay, well, you let me know. You let me know. So let's go over this real quick. If we all do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction. This is by Martin Kornfeld. I read it every day, but you know what? It's true, everybody. can we just go out and try to do one random act of kindness for another human being today? Can we just go out and do one random act of kindness for an animal? If you come across an animal, right? Both the animal, the human, they're going to appreciate it for sure. It's going to make them feel good, make you feel good. It's a win-win all around. And maybe one day when you need it, someone will be there and they'll go, you know what? I need to do my random act of kindness daily, and they'll do it for you. And it will be complete return, complete full circle. Okay. Let's see what's going on in the world of after hours. VIX is up 30 cents. Oh my. Well, that means something. SPY down has to be, right? Yes. Okay. Johan says, thanks, Greg, and cheers, everyone. Have a great day. You as well, Johan. Happy flying. Be safe up there. Send some pictures to your Skype group, would you? Michael says, I heard it called the deep dip by course. The B was deep dip by. The B was erroneously added by someone that was talking about the course. I see what you did there, Michael. I see what you did there. That's a deep pull, but I caught it. I caught it. That's clever. That is clever. Mike, I got your email about the Ian Pundit. Is that what you were listening to? The Ian Pundit interview on Coast to Coast? I don't know if everybody knows, but I was interviewed on Coast to Coast by Ian Pundit. And what we're talking about is the DB Cooper story. So if you're interested in my playlist, I have an interview that I did, long interview. It's like 2.5 hours about the DB Cooper story and the connection to my father. So it's in the my interview section on YouTube if you want to get away from stock trading a little bit and get into hijackings. Frank says, I wish that random act of kindness could get some news coverage. Yeah, isn't that the truth? Of all the things that get news coverage, maybe 30 seconds of random act of kindness of all of that might be well-placed airtime. Right, Frank? Mike, that is hilarious. I heard it called the deep dip by course. The B was erroneously added by someone that was talking about the course. That's hilarious. That's so deep. That's such a deep pull there. I'm so glad I caught that. You're clever, Lova. Clever. All right. Well, if anyone has any other questions, please let me know. I will do my very best to address them. I don't know if Frank has an intermission joke for us or something. I love those. I love jokes, by the way. Michael says, yes, but there's more to it. I was a regular listener to Coast, but there was something special about that particular episode. Oh. Yeah, I love Coast to Coast. I miss Art Bell. Actually met Art Bell. I got interviewed by Art Bell on something else. He was always my favorite. I liked Ian Pundit a lot. George Norrie I did like, but I think I like Ian a little better overall, but George does a great job. But yeah, Art Bell was my favorite. But we'll have to talk about that, Michael. We'll have to talk about that. Did you make the connection, Michael? after you started coming to this live stream? Did you make that connection? Too long of a story for the chat box. I'll tell you about it when we talk. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Art Bell, Coast to Coast. Yes. Yep. He's passed away now. So, interesting that VIX, okay, so VIX is up 26 cents now, but still, it's a pretty big move after hours for VIX. That's 0.75%, with the SPY being down. All right. Well, interesting day. Day of really good trades and day of really bad trades. But just remember, everybody, if we have a drawdown coming, just, don't clutch your pearls. It's just part of trading. You have to get used to it. You will have losses. You'll have string of losses. You'll feel like you're never going to make a penny again. But remember those times you never thought you were going to lose a penny again when everything was going fine? Did it last? No. It did not last. So if you're in a string of losers, will that last? It feels like it, but it won't. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. The market has to go up and down. It's an organism that has life that has to go up and down in order to survive. So, okay. Mike says, knew nothing about your connection until I was Googling your name to see if you had written any books on trading. Aha. Makes sense. All right, everybody. I think that's a wrap for today. Have a good rest of your day. Go out, do a random act of kindness for a human. Also for an animal, if you can. That would be twice as good. And it's a beautiful day here in Utah. I'm going to head out. I'm going to go for a hike. Do a little workout. I did acupuncture yesterday. Let me tell you something about acupuncture. My biggest fear in acupuncture, now that I've done it a few times, is having an itch when you're lying on the table and your acupuncturist has left. The acupuncturist left. I couldn't move. I had needles all over the place, and I had the worst itch. I MacGyvered it by using my tongue and moving my face to move my mass so that it would itch it. But I'll tell you what, next time I go in there, I'm going to be itch-free before she heads out of the room. Frank, acupuncture is pretty interesting. There's a couple things that I was dealing with, some like energy in my chest. I just couldn't get rid of. It was, I felt like I could shoot lasers out of my eyes or power an entire city. It's really helped it. I think I've had 3 sessions and it has really helped it so far. I mean, I have to admit also, I think you remember I had some shoulder issues. And when I get done with that acupuncture, I can move my shoulders a lot easier. It doesn't last though. It doesn't last, but I think all in all, in the aggregate, it gets better. But pretty interesting. I asked her, people come in here for what ailment mainly, and she says lower back, sciatica, stuff like that. But I like it. I do like it, Frank. I if you're thinking about it, I would at least try it once or twice or 3 times, and if you're interested whatsoever. But yeah, I'm kind of a believer, especially after the releasing the thing in the chest kind of a deal. So anyway, I'm going to keep doing it. Okay, I think that's it. Take care, everyone. Appreciate it. Have a good day. Hope to see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday during the last hour of the market. Talk to you later. Bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.